Hey guys, Eurovision. Eurovision Song Contest. Something that I often hear about, I have no idea how it works, and that is the reason for this video. Marine says, this video was created to educate people before last year's Eurovision. Some of the info has changed, as it does every year. But last year, Sweden won the competition. So before I actually get to the songs for this year, let's check out this instructional video called David Bennett Piano, a beginner's guide to the Eurovision Song Contest. Please educate me.
The Eurovision Song Contest
Let's
is
see
a
what's up.
competition where various European and sometimes not European countries enter
Yeah, I
an
heard about
original
that.
song, and then all of the countries vote for the best one.
And by the way, we did see one video from Eurovision a while back.
And
That's all I
frankly,
got.
it's quite wild.
We're really laughing. Oh man, Eurovision is gonna be great. This is gonna be really, really, really good. Okay. Who's this guy?
Since its quite conservative beginnings back in the 1950s, the contest has
And the way that I see this is kind of like American Idol, the show in Europe. This is like European Idol for me. That's how I kind of like. I'm picturing it, but you know,
evolved into a
let's see.
colourful display of politics, nonsense, and actually also sometimes some pretty good music. So, particularly for the benefit of my mostly non-European viewers, let
Thank you.
me introduce you to the weird and wonderful
I'm the opposite. Most of my viewers are European.
world of the Eurovision Song Contest. Now, particularly in recent decades, the
Oh, by the way, I know this song. I also seen this in the past, and this song is so catchy. Oh my god.
contest has become known for its more eccentric performances. Some just a little quirky,
Oh, this is so catchy. No. Damn
some
it.
just a bit
I didn't want to hear this because now it's going to get stuck in my head for a while.
garish, and some, well,
It's even part of the band, you know?
but even if the weirder, eye-catching performances are the ones that get a lot of
I hope we get a lot of those this year.
attention, the songs that go on to win the contest are usually a bit more ordinary.
Norway.
Perhaps the most unusual act to ever win the
Wait, what? Hold up. What?
contest was the Finnish hard rock group Lordi in the year 2006.
Check out the axe in the guy. Yo, check out the platform shoes. Yeah!
And I'm not saying
I
they were
was
unusual
right.
just because of their
Holy crap.
demonic costumes. Lordi winning the contest was also unusual because they were playing rock music.
Yeah.
Rock songs rarely make an appearance at Eurovision, let alone win. The
That was one of my questions because, you know, it feels that Eurovision is for, you know, everybody and usually rock is not for everybody, right?
only other rock song that's won the contest was Ziti I Buoni by Italian band Maneskin in 2021.
What's up with the platform
In
shoes?
2021.
I guess in rock, everybody has platform shoes.
The sort of songs that typically win the contest will usually have a dash of novelty in their performance, but will generally just be a pretty good, straightforward pop song.
Okay, so it's like a general song with like a bit of an extra.
Toy by Netta, for example, which won the contest for Israel in 2018, does contain a brief
those Lucky
chicken
Cats?
impression, but beyond that, it's a fairly standard and fairly
Yeah, this is gonna be wild.
catchy pop song.
Yeah, that's it. So it's a general song with some extras. Gotcha.
And also, side note, if you're thinking right now, that song sounds a lot like Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, well, you're not alone. Universal Records also spotted the likeness, and after threatening legal action, Jack White was credited on the song. So, in a roundabout way, the White Stripes kind of co-wrote a Eurovision winning song.
What? That's wild.
Nowadays, most Eurovision entries, including most winning songs, will tend to be sung in the English language, regardless of which country they're actually representing.
Gotcha.
But this is a fairly modern trend. For the first couple decades of the contest, every winning song was actually sung in the country's native language.
That's pretty nice too, though. Again, we're used to that on this channel, you know?
The first
And this thing is like freaking old, man. This contest has been running for years,
winning
eh?
song not to be sung in the act's native tongue was 1974's Waterloo, sung by Eurovision's greatest success story, ABBA.
I was defeated, you won the war.
I had no idea they started. I had no idea that ABBA started at Eurovision. Wow.
ABBA
we know
aren't
the
the
song.
only act, though, to have been launched to international success by Eurovision. In 1988, a French-Canadian singer called Celine Dion
Yeah, also I
represented
didn't know about this. This I heard it on Discord, but I didn't know about this either.
Switzerland at Eurovision and won.
Yeah, how do you like represent Switzerland? That's like another question for me. But anyways,
Celine
That's
Dion was
crazy.
already well known in her home country of Canada as a French-language singer, but it wasn't until after winning Eurovision that she started releasing English-language music and became the global megastar that she is today.
so again, Eurovision actually put people on the map. Crazy.
Another now household name to appear at Eurovision before they had quite made it is Olivia Newton-John, who represented the UK in
I
1974.
know the name, but I don't know. Yo, check out the dress though. Jesus Christ. Was it 70s? 80s?
Much like with Celine Dion, in 1974, Olivia Newton-John was an
70s.
established singer, but it would still be 4 years before she shot to global
Almost
fame
80s.
and starred in the film Grease. Now, if you're thinking, wait, how did Canadian Celine
Yeah,
Dion
exactly.
represent Switzerland? Well, a Eurovision contestant doesn't have to be from the country that they are representing. For
Which is a bit of a cop-out, but okay.
example, American rapper Flo Rida represented
about
San
this, yeah.
Marino
That's
in
crazy,
2021,
though. That's crazy,
alongside
though.
Italian singer Senhit.
How does that make any sense? It doesn't.
Flo Rida is one of many established artists who made an appearance at Eurovision. Although the song they perform at the contest must be a brand new composition, the performer doesn't have to be some little known or unknown artist. Many already very well established artists have appeared at Eurovision, including
And again, apparently a lot of people watch Eurovision, like tens of millions, right?
Cliff Richard, who represented the UK in 1968 and 1973,
Congratulations and jubilations.
Get up.
I won the world.
and Katrina and the Waves, who are known for their 1980s hit Walking on Sunshine, who won Eurovision for the UK in 1997.
Shine a light in every corner of our hearts.
The country to have won Eurovision the most
Okay, hold up. Ireland, really? Interesting.
is Ireland, and
Why is there a cross here? What, they're dead? What happened?
3 of those Irish wins are actually thanks to one person, Johnny Logan. Johnny Logan is not only the only performer
Wait, hold up. What years was this? 70? Oh, damn. So I guess the show started in 1957?
wins are
No, not really, because maybe like another country one that wasn't part of the of this list.
actually thanks to one person, Johnny Logan. Johnny Logan is not only the only performer to have won Eurovision twice, performing Ireland's winning song in both 1980 and 1987, but he also composed Ireland's 1992 winning song.
Wow.
Ireland is also the only country to have won the contest 3 years in a row, winning Eurovision 92,
Damn.
93 and
They're on
94.
fire.
In fact, some have speculated that in 1995, Ireland intentionally entered a lackluster song to avoid winning the contest a 4th time in a row. But why would a country not want to win Eurovision? Well, because the winning country has to host the next year's contest. And hosting Eurovision can be a very expensive thing to do. Many speculate that some
But you get tourism and stuff, no?
of the more dreadful acts that have
Maybe
been
not
put
enough.
forward to Eurovision over the years were intentionally bad because the country didn't want to risk winning and therefore
Full
having to
stage.
host the contest.
No
This is
way,
particularly
dude.
the case for the so-called Big Five. Although the main spectacle
way.
of Eurovision is the grand finale, most countries who enter the contest have to first qualify in a semi-final.
Okay.
But the Big Five, France, Germany, the UK, Spain and Italy, automatically qualify for the grand finale due to these countries' large monetary contribution to the running of the contest. This
cool.
means that if one of those Big Five don't want the hassle and expense of hosting Eurovision next year, they might intentionally enter a mediocre song. Now, the system by which
So what happens is everybody enters like mediocre songs.
countries are voted for has changed over the years, but is
Oh, that's
generally
what's up.
some sort of mix of a professional jury and votes from the general public. The rules and structure of Eurovision have changed many times during the contest's almost 70-year history. An interesting example of
Norwega? What is that? Yeah, I guess it's a different language, but still. Luxembourgo.
The rules having to change actually was after the 1969 Eurovision, where 4 different countries, the UK, Spain, the Netherlands, and France, all won the contest. They were all joint winners of Eurovision. This is because they all scored the same amount of points, and no tiebreaker rule had
Maybe this is Netherlands.
been introduced to the contest yet. Needless to say, the next year a tiebreaker rule was introduced. Now, getting over 30 different countries to all compete against
Yeah, and also Australia, which... Wait, what? Eurovision Australia? But yeah, let's keep going.
each other in a song contest is going to result in some politics. Of course, it's well known that certain countries will always vote favourably for their close allies. For example, Greece and Cyprus always vote for each other, and the UK and Ireland often swap votes.
Really?
But
Interesting.
more notably, in years where Eurovision takes place against more politically charged
Yeah.
world events, you can often see those events reflected in the voting. For example, last year, Ukraine won Eurovision.
Yeah.
And although their song was good, and Ukraine have won the contest before, it's probably not a coincidence that they won in the year
Yeah,
2020.
obviously I wouldn't. When I heard that, because I did hear about Ukraine winning last year, it's like 2 years ago, sorry. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. You know, of course they voted for Ukraine.
Too. Likewise, the first Eurovision Song Contest that took place after Brexit had completed, which was 2021,
Oh, really?
the
I
UK
didn't know
scored
that.
the dreaded nil point.
And the United Kingdom.
Oh. Okay, so this is definitely like, I was gonna say political, but like set up in a way, you know?
From the public,
I
0
won.
points.
Yep, that's
Of
crazy.
course, it can be
though,
hard to
man.
tell
That's crazy though.
conclusively how much politics is really influencing the voting. Maybe
Yeah.
the UK's entry that year just wasn't very good.
Sometimes I know my fire burns low, but as long as you're with me, I'll never...
For example, when the UK got nil point in 2003, some cited the UK's recent and controversial joint invasion of Iraq as the reason that the UK had received no points. But also that year, the UK's entry did sound like this.
That does sound very weird.
So maybe it's not all about politics.
Yeah, maybe not.
Eurovision performances have often been used as a platform for raising awareness and visibility of issues and causes. Perhaps most notably, Eurovision has increasingly become a fantastic champion of LGBT plus pride.
I see.
Various openly LGBT acts have appeared at Eurovision. For example, drag queen Conchita
That's the one that we saw, yeah.
Wurst won the 2014 contest for Austria.
Yeah, that's the one that we saw.
So that is Eurovision,
Okay, got
a
you.
unique intersection between geopolitics and music, and one that never fails to surprise and entertain. Of course, after winning last year's contest, by all rights, Ukraine should be hosting the competition this year. But due to the current situation, last year's runner-up, the UK, is hosting it instead,
Okay,
and
gotcha.
it's actually happening next week in Liverpool. So let me know in the comments who you think is going to win this year.
I'm ready for it, and this is why we're doing this video here, right? And thanks to David Bennett Piano for the briefing here. That was actually pretty cool. They actually gave us a lot of information. Actually, I didn't know it was this political. That's crazy though. So I knew about Ukraine. I'm like, okay, it makes sense, but didn't know like England got like 0 votes because they decided to do the Brexit thing, right? That's interesting. So again, I feel the fact that first of all, countries can vote for other countries, so friends can vote amongst each other, and also you got like the fan vote. I feel like it'd be like so easily exploited. It's not even funny, but then again, that's probably the excitement of the show, right? It looks like this looks pretty wild, man. I don't know what I'm getting into. We're gonna start this as soon as tomorrow, I think, the first 3 songs, and we'll go along with the flow and see what's up. But so far, it seems pretty hype. Thank you for watching. I'll see you. Peace.